I almost didn't start YouTube because I believed one expensive lie, that you need thousands of dollars in gear just to have a chance. What I'm about to show you completely breaks that belief. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly how I generated over $10,000 on this platform without ever showing my face, buying expensive cameras, or even owning proper lighting equipment. And the best part? You can start implementing this strategy tonight with nothing more than the device you're watching this video on right now. Now here's where this gets interesting, because most people watching this have already ruled themselves out before they even start. They assume YouTube success belongs to people with studios, teams, and massive budgets. That belief alone stops more creators than algorithm changes ever could. And once you see why, this entire platform starts to look very different. People call me Dime. And if you're new here, this channel is all about helping everyday people discover legitimate ways to earn money online. But today's story is different because it challenges everything the YouTube gurus have been telling you about what it takes to succeed on this platform. While everyone else is maxing out credit cards, buying equipment they can't afford, I stumbled upon a method that's not only more profitable, but incredibly sustainable. Before we go any further, you need to understand where this actually started. Before we dive into the specifics, let me paint you a picture of where this journey began. It was late 2024 and I was stuck in the same frustrating cycle that millions of aspiring YouTubers find themselves in. I had big dreams, but a small budget. Every tutorial I watched seemed to require thousands of dollars in equipment I simply didn't have. Ring lights, professional cameras, expensive microphones, editing software subscriptions, fancy backgrounds, and the list went on. I remember sitting at my kitchen table one evening, feeling completely defeated. I had been consuming YouTube content about making money online for months, but every strategy seemed designed for people who already had money to invest. Here's what most people don't realize: that frustration isn't a failure point. It's usually the moment right before a breakthrough. That's when something clicked. I realized I was approaching this entire thing backwards. At this point, everything starts to click if you've ever felt stuck like that. The problem wasn't motivation, intelligence, or effort. The problem was copying surface-level advice instead of understanding what actually moves the needle. And once I saw that distinction, it changed how I evaluated every piece of content I watched afterward. This really was the moment everything started to click. Instead of focusing on what I didn't have, I started analyzing what was actually working on YouTube. I spent the next 2 weeks doing deep research, not on equipment or filming techniques, but on content that was generating serious view counts and engagement. And what I found completely flipped how I thought about content creation. The breakthrough came when I realized that some of the most successful channels in the make money online space weren't relying on fancy production values at all. They were succeeding because they were solving real problems for real people. The equipment was secondary to the value they provided. This is the part most people miss. Viewers don't click because a video looks cinematic. They click because they believe the video will help them. And they stay because the content keeps delivering on that promise. Once you internalize that, production quality stops being the bottleneck, and clarity becomes the real currency. This is where the real shift happens. This realization led me to develop what I now call the invisible creator strategy. It's a method that focuses on delivering massive value while remaining completely behind the scenes. No face reveals, no expensive equipment, no complicated setups. Just pure value delivered in the most efficient way possible. And in a minute, I'll show you exactly how this works step by step. Before I break it down, it's important to understand why this works so well right now. Attention spans are shorter, competition is higher, and people want answers fast. Faceless educational content fits perfectly into that demand, especially when it's structured correctly and focused on outcomes instead of personalities. The foundation of this strategy rests on 3 core principles. First, you become a content curator rather than a content creator. Second, you leverage existing tools and platforms that most people completely overlook. Third, you focus on evergreen topics that continue generating revenue long after you've published them. Being a curator doesn't mean copying, it means synthesizing. You're taking scattered information and organizing it into a clear path. That alone is a massive value add, because most people don't struggle with finding information, they struggle with knowing what matters and what to ignore. Here's how this actually works in the real world. Let me break down exactly how this works in practice. The first step involves identifying high-demand topics within profitable niches. I'm not talking about generic make-money online content. I'm talking about specific, targeted problems that people are actively searching for solutions to. These might include topics like optimizing social media algorithms, understanding cryptocurrency basics, or learning specific software skills. This part matters more than anything else because the topic you choose determines how fast everything else works. This is where a lot of creators get stuck, because they chase what sounds exciting instead of what's already being searched for. One shortcut most people miss is using simple research tools to validate demand before creating anything. Platforms like TubeMagic can quickly show you what people are actually typing into YouTube, which removes guesswork and saves weeks of wasted effort. Once you've identified these topics, the magic happens through strategic content compilation. You're not stealing content or violating copyright. Instead, you're creating original compilations that add genuine value by organizing information in helpful ways. Think of yourself as a librarian who helps people find exactly what they need without them having to search through hundreds of sources. This approach also quietly builds authority. When viewers consistently find answers on your channel, they stop questioning where the information came from and start trusting where they found it. That trust becomes the foundation for everything that comes later. This is where most people overthink and get stuck. The technical execution is surprisingly simple. This is where most people overthink and end up stuck. Using free tools like Canva, you can create visually appealing presentations that guide viewers through complex topics step by step. Screen recording software, which comes built into most computers and phones, allows you to create tutorials and walkthroughs without ever appearing on camera. Even basic slideshow presentations can generate significant engagement when they contain valuable information. This part surprised me at first, but visuals don't need to be flashy to be effective. Clean layouts, readable text, and clear progression outperform clutter every time. Canva makes this easy because you're not designing from scratch. You're simply arranging ideas in a way the brain naturally follows. Audio is where many people get intimidated, but it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a studio, a sound engineer, or perfection. A decent USB microphone costs less than $50, or you can even use your smartphone with a simple headset. The key is consistent audio quality, not studio-grade perfection. I've seen channels with millions of subscribers using audio setups that cost less than $100 total. Consistency matters more than clarity here. Viewers forgive average audio if the content is good, but they don't forgive wildly inconsistent volume or distracting noise. Once you solve that baseline, you're already ahead of most beginners. The real secret sauce comes from understanding YouTube's algorithm and how it rewards certain types of content. The platform loves videos that keep people watching, and educational content naturally accomplishes this. When you're teaching someone something valuable, they're invested in watching until the end to get the complete information. And this is where retention quietly does the heavy lifting for you. Retention isn't about tricks, it's about momentum. When each idea logically leads to the next, viewers don't feel the urge to click away. That's why structured education performs so well, especially in faceless formats. This is where strategic video structuring becomes crucial. Each video needs to be designed like a journey with clear milestones along the way. You start with a hook that promises specific value, then deliver that value in digestible chunks while building toward a satisfying conclusion. If you do this right, viewers don't even realize how much time has passed. The key is making each segment valuable enough that viewers feel rewarded for their time investment. One simple way to do this is by opening small loops early and closing them later. Mentioning a payoff, hinting at a result, Then delivering it naturally keeps attention without feeling manipulative. This is how long videos stay watchable. Now here's how this turns into real money. Monetization opportunities extend far beyond YouTube's partner program. While ad revenue is certainly part of the equation, the real money comes from building an audience that trusts your recommendations. This opens doors to affiliate marketing, digital product sales, sponsored content, and even consulting opportunities. Here's how this actually turns into money. When viewers learn from you, they want tools that make implementation easier. That's where affiliate links come in. Not as pitches, but as solutions placed at the right moment. Affiliate marketing becomes particularly powerful when you're creating educational content. People who are learning about specific topics are often ready to invest in tools, courses, or services that can help them implement what they've learned. By genuinely recommending products you believe in, you create a win-win situation where viewers get valuable recommendations and you earn commissions. This is where income starts compounding instead of resetting each month. The timeline for seeing results varies, but most people following this strategy start seeing meaningful engagement within their first month. Revenue typically begins flowing within 60 to 90 days, assuming consistent content publication and smart topic selection. This isn't about overnight wins. It's about stacking small results that snowball. Once you understand what resonates, this becomes highly systematizable. You can develop a simple workflow that lets you research, create, and publish efficiently without ever needing to be on camera. If this video helped shift your perspective, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I would start this from scratch today. No face, no team, step by step. So you can actually see how this turns into a real workflow. See you there.